What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Kaike here, and today I just wanted to do a beginner guides for you guys. For a lot of the returning players who probably came back after a long, long time, and also for some new players who definitely probably came back when the new co-op mode came in the big update. So yeah, I just not even gonna waste your time. So I'm gonna go through pretty much every section that you see here, and I'm gonna briefly talk about which, and along the way, I'm gonna be telling you what you be prioritizing coming into the game. So this is, like I said, this is a guide for both new and old players, like in returning players. So I'm gonna leave some timestamps so it can make it a little bit easier if you're just looking for like a certain thing in particular. So there's that. So I'm in the exchange shop area. So the exchange shop area is where you get all these different type of currencies that you get from various places. Like you get this from playing certain events. You get Z medals from summonings. When you max out a unit, you get Z medals. You get rare medals from playing PvP and being challenges. And then here, this is where you just go to exchange all these different type of currencies for different type of rewards. Like here, for my exchange shops, I can buy Z power for some of these old units, buy some resources to level up my other units, and slot removers, and also a guild creation ticket so you can create a guild. So there's that. It is this is basically where you're gonna be hearing a lot. You are gonna be here a lot to probably get some extra resources and stuff. It's very valuable in certain places. Some of this stuff you're probably never really gonna use. Like let me see. Mostly the rare metals you never really use. Z metals over time, when you start leveling up a lot of units, you get a lot of 7-star units, you'll probably use it, but in the beginning you're not gonna be using that too much. So there's that. That's what the exchange shop is for, and that's where you're gonna be pretty much using it the most, when you start getting a lot of those extra in-game currencies so that you can exchange it for rewards. So items, I don't really even like, you're barely gonna even go through this to that much. I'm not even gonna lie, but this is obviously just the item area, just to tell you what items you have in your inventory. So these are souls. Souls are what you're gonna be using to like further strengthen your units. This is probably one of the most vital resources in the game. They're not that hard to farm as they were when they first came out, so you guys are really, 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 really lucky. And yeah, I don't pretty much need to talk about the rest of the stuff. It's just summoning tickets, extra stuff, training items. So honestly, you're never gonna really be in there too much, so you don't even need to really talk about that. So friends, obviously this is where the friend system is at, so I'm gonna don't want you guys see my friend list too much. So yeah, obviously you have your own friend code. You can go there and send that out to people if you want them to join. You're getting your friends list, and this is where you get requests, and then your actual friend list is here. It used to be 30, the max amount of friends you could have, but now it's 40. So they did up that a little bit. That's actually recently they did that. So honestly, you're only going to be really needing your friend list for like co-op, and probably, if you want to play PvP with a friend. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Presents, I don't even really need to talk about this. This is where you're going to be getting any of your presents that come into the game. They're going to come through here. Anytime the developers decide they want to be generous and give out some goddamn CC, it's going to come through the present section. So there's that. Status, this is where you're going to be able to change your name. And they also have this new feature where you can actually change your card sleeves. So there's that. And this is where you're going to be able to apply titles. You get titles from doing like certain missions, in-game missions, and beating certain events. And they're just there just to honestly just look cool and kind of just flex a little bit. They do give like little extra stats, but nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy, right? So this is that, and here you're gonna see basically my rap sheet here. So this is my PvP rap sheet. Nothing too crazy. There are definitely more people who have more impressive rap sheets here than that, but here you're gonna see how many good games you have, good skill, good party, and how many total wins you ever had in PvP, and the highest amount of rating points you ever got in PvP. So it's a nice little thing to keep track of, obviously, of how you've been playing a lot in the game. So now we're done with this little top section here. I think we should obviously just go to the main big thing, the adventures. This is basically how you're going to be getting a lot of your resources in the game. You really are going to be getting a lot of this from adventures. Now you get adventures from doing special missions, or from just farming them with skip tickets off from certain events and stuff like that. And then what you're going to do the second when that does happen, I guess I could just give you an example. Like most people probably already know, but I'm going to go out of my way and interrupt my current adventure. So you're going to go to start adventure. You will click accept. Now, some adventures have it where no certain type of characters it will give you a higher drop rate. Now, currently the adventures that we got set up right now is the Snowman adventures for the Snowman holiday season, and Saiyans. If you have a Saiyan, they help you get increased drop rates, and also if they have a yellow unit, you get an increased drop rate. So if you really want to have yellow Saiyans for this adventure season, for these adventures, and then it will help you get increased drop rates. You could put auto select to make it a lot more easier. It will automatically select like probably the best option that you have in your box for giving you the best drop rate possibility. So there's that. I hope I didn't make that sound too confusing, but yeah, there's that. So the event section, there's not really much to this. If you could just load, come on, bro. Yeah, this is basically where you're gonna be going to just get pretty much everything. This is where you go to farm certain souls for certain colors, and like I said before, souls you're gonna be needing that to more furtherly power up your units. There's that. There's the Super Zeni section. This used to be limited, so for you guys who are also new players, you guys are actually really lucky. But yeah, this used to be limited to like 3 times a day, I think. But now you can just hop in anytime, and basically it's just a stage where you just fight this weak little golden sparkly Cyberman, and you'll get some extra Zeni. Honestly, later on, once you get later into the game, there's a lot of more easier ways to get Zeni. Like you will start stacking a whole bunch over time. As you can see, I have like a billion. So yeah, you're not gonna be running this stage like once you start getting more in depth into the game. But for in the beginning, yes, you're probably gonna be running a lot. Super XP. This is where you're gonna be going to farm up a lot of your units in the beginning. It's okay. It's only really good when they have this when they have the XP times 2. Without it, it's just okay. They honestly need to update this stage, add a second one to it. In my personal opinion. Now this is big. Equipment collection. Now you're gonna have to be here if you want to hop into PvP kind of early, because you do want to have pretty good equipment for PvP. And you guys are actually lucky, because when I started playing the game, they actually didn't have this. Now, depending on what tags you're trying to run, what teams you're trying to run. So if you're trying to run God Key, you will want to just do these challenges. Make sure you do all these challenges so that you can get that little gold star. And then once you get that little gold star, you'll be able to use skip tickets to basically just farm all these equips in one. So I'll just give you an example here. So once you use your skip tickets and just quickly run through this, then bam, you would just get a whole bunch of equips for God Key, and you would just be able to go ahead and level these up. So it's really easy to get your foot in the door with PvP nowadays. Just the early stages now with stuff like this, because before we had to like wait until certain events came back, so it was actually pretty kind of annoying. But it's a lot more easier now. So here is the Let's Fight. This is honestly where you just kind of just go to grind a little extra friendship points and just level up units a little bit more. They also need to add another stage to this too. This stage does need like this little mini event needs another stage too, because now they are actually making it where you need to grind friendship a lot more for those Zenkai awakenings. And here we have the other extra stuff. Now here I have Space Time Rush. This is a more of a iffy if you want to grind. Like you could grind this, but you honestly don't need to grind it. Like it's just a few extra rewards that they give you. But personally, I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably the most boringest game mode in the game, and I will understand why you wouldn't want to do it. But there is just a few extra rewards, and that's where you're going to be going to get Awakened equipment. Awakened equipment is just a little stronger than normal equipment, but honestly, with the way they got drop weights and equipment, it's honestly not even worth chasing anymore, in my personal opinion, unless you're chasing awakened equipment for units that you like or that you really are fans of. And then this is where you have like these type of like boss raid level stage type of events. They also drop awards for certain equipment. It's nothing too crazy. And that's it. So that's pretty much it for the event section. Oh, how can I forget it? Co-op. So this is where you're going to be going to play co-op, where you can play with a buddy or you can play with a guild mate. So with guild mate, you get extra points if you play with a guild mate, but up to 3 times a day. If you just play with a random, they give you extra co-op points. So there's that. And then they also co-op also have their own exchange shop where you could just also buy a few little extra stuff like Zenkai souls, but we're not going to get into the Zenkai stuff. That's more advanced stuff. So let's not even to get into that right now. So we talked about that. So let's talk about PvP. Now we all know that Legends is a PvP dominated game. So this is really where you're gonna have to show your stripes. This is where the no where the big boys is at now. And this is where the big stuff is going down in Legends right now. Um, so currently we have Legends Battle Royale up. Usually there's something they call casual mode there. Honestly, nobody really plays casual mode, but for newer players, you could play it. It's just really just a way just to kind of get like your foot in the door a little bit and play a little PvP. Mostly it's just bots and a lot of low level people playing. So that's why I said it's good for newer players, just to get your feet wet and get your foot in the door and play a little bit. But to be honest, where the crazy stuff is all going down is in rating match. Now, obviously, rating match is where you go and then you play until you get into rank 50. That's the max rank. And then at the end of the season, you will get 1K Chrono Crystals if you're in the top 10K. Now, you will have to play a few extra matches upon getting to rank 50 to get to the top 10K. And sometimes they may have double rewards. They don't do it too often, where you could get 2K Chrono Crystals, which is 2 multi summons, but it's not very often. Not very often at all. So yeah, so honestly, a lot of people stop grinding PvP as much because they feel like just one multi summon is just not really enough worth it, especially with how the rates are in Legends and stuff like that. So it's still worth grinding a little bit, but in the beginning, to be honest, you don't need to worry about this too much. Just worry about getting to as high as rank as you can, and once you get to like hit a wall, you could probably just start working on leveling up some more units, or just probably just chill out until you pull some more units or see some units that you like that you want to pull for. Now, Legends Battle Royale, I guess I could quickly talk about this. This is kind of like a little world tournament thing. Like if you guys ever played Dokkan. If you guys ever played Dokkan, it's kind of like the world tournament where they just bring it back every few months, and you're just gonna be going up against players and kind of just fighting for like supremacy with these little battle rank points. It's nothing honestly too special, and it's honestly it's kind of annoying because a lot of people once they start losing they just lag out, and yeah. But the best thing about it is that they make all your units max leveled, so I guess you're fighting on an evil playing field. So it comes down to a little bit more skill and a little bit more of just based on the units that you're using too, because some units are just OP. So there's that. So yeah, nothing too special about Battle Royale. Honestly, you shouldn't even worry about that. It's nothing too special. Like they do have some decent rewards, they do have some nice rewards, but you shouldn't be trying to like chase after too much. Okay, we're almost done here. So we're at the guild section, all right? So guild currently, this is the guild me and my homie started. It's just the two of us. We haven't opened it up to the rest of the world. That's why we're currently in this losing session, because their guild has more people. But yeah, guild is honestly right now currently it's nothing really much to it. In the future, they said that they wanted to make like more guild versus guild type content. So who knows how that's gonna work, but definitely it's gonna get better in the future, right? So honestly, in the guild, there's not really much to it. Here's the guild log. This shows basically just every sparking that everybody in the guild has pulled. So it's kind of cool if you kind of just want to flex a little bit, or if you kind of just want to just check up on what everybody in the guild is doing. Like, oh, you pulled that, and then you can kind of like make many little comments on certain stuff, like, oh, you pulled this. No, little shit like that. It's cool. Currently right now, that's really it is all to guilds. Like they have these little mini guild wars, but it's just like you're just accumulating points, but you get most of the points from like PvE content. So it's not really that competitive currently. It's just something cool right now, but in the future they did say that they wanted to add more to guild versus more guild versus guild content. So do we just have to actually wait and see that out. So here we actually just have the mission section. This is honestly nothing too crazy. It's just where you go to check out all your missions and stuff like that. Every event, everything in the game pretty much is linked to a type of mission. Every time they have a new Bajer celebration, it comes with missions. Every time they have some new adventures set up for the season, they have some new missions. Co-op has their own separate missions, and this is where you're probably going to be checking a lot, honestly, to track your progress on a lot of these missions, so you can get your chrono crystals and get your extra rewards and tickets and stuff. So there's that. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty self-explanatory what it is. I don't think I just clicked on missions again. I don't think I need to talk about it too much. Now here we get a little bit to more of the little extra stuff. So this is the party building system. Now this is where you're going to be building your squad to go into taking the PvP, to take into PvE, whatever, into boss battles, co-op. This is what, well, not co-op, but this is where you're gonna be going to build your teams pretty much. It's not too special. As far as that, and this is where you go also preset your team. So these are some preset teams I have here. You can preset a team if you like it, and then register it, and then you can call upon it any time of the day. So that's pretty much it for the party making system. There's nothing too special about that. I guess I can make an in-depth tutorial later on how to build teams. I don't think building teams of legends is that hard, but no, it could be hard for some people. I don't know. Now here's the equipment section. Now this is where you're going to be going to basically level up all your equipment, and this is probably going to be one of the places you're going to be at a lot if you play PvP. In the beginning, not so much, but like I said, once you start getting, not even just PvP, once you just start getting into a lot more content to the game, you're going to be in this game, not this game mode, but you're going to be in this section of the game a lot, because you are going to just want to farm up a good amount of equipments for all your units. And there's just so much equipment in this game. Let's just take a look at the archive. Like, this is all the equipment in the game, and some of these are from exclusive events. Now these ones that have these little unique shiny borders, these are awakened equipments. I'm probably going to do a separate video on that, because awakened equipment is just kind of, I did a video on it a while back, and it didn't it got like, it's probably like one of my most disliked videos on the channel, because a lot of people didn't like my opinions on it. But it was kind of garbage when it first came out, but it has gotten better. But I still don't think you should chase it. My personal opinion, there's just so much good equipment in this game. I don't think you should be chasing awakened equipment. But yeah, this is, you're going to be going here. So this archive basically shows you all the equipment in the game, and it shows you where you can get it from. So it makes it real easy. Most equipments are locked behind certain equipment conditions, obviously. And then where, as you can see, so it says Saga from the movies. So that basically means I cannot apply this to anybody except for Saga from the movies characters. So there's that. So yeah, so equipment, you're gonna be here a lot, man. Early on, well, later on, you're not gonna be here as much once you get a good collection of equipment. But once you like starting off, you're gonna win as much as equipment as you can get. So you're definitely gonna be here a lot. Probably gonna be here like 30% of the time, 40% of the time, outside of just PvP and stuff like that, and probably whatever PvE content. Soul boost, this is the soul boost area. Honestly, not too special. This is where you just go to soul boost your units past beyond where they already been. This is where you're going to be having to take advantage of those not Zenkai souls, but soul, or they're just called souls. This is, and then souls is where you just have these things. I guess I could just quickly show you, level up this unit. These are souls, those little green things that you see at the top. And then you would just have to just continue soul boosting your unit to make them more stronger. Now you see they continue to add stats on top of the base stats that you already have on your current unit. So soul boosting is also, you're also going to be here a lot, really a lot. And then you get souls from those stages that I showed you guys earlier in the event section. So there's that. So I feel like I've covered everything. There might be a few other things I haven't covered. So this character list. Yeah, this is just character list. This is basically where you're just gonna be looking at all your characters. Good thing about this game that's cool though is that they do let you see the characters that you don't have, and you can still look at their abilities even though you don't have them. So one thing I must say, if you're a PvP person, you're definitely gonna want to study up on the guide, or like not study up on the guide, but you're gonna want to study up on a lot of these units that are in the meta currently. So you really want to be studying up on these units even if you don't have them, because when you go up against them, you want to know how to counter against them in the best way possible. So study up on the units even if you don't have them just as much as possible. Like, I played this game so much, to be honest, I kind of memorized almost every unit's kit off the back of my head. Like, yes, that's how much I play Legends. I pretty much memorized most of these guys' kits off the back of my head. It's really actually ridiculous. So there's that. That's pretty much it as far as the game aspects. I pretty much covered everything except for this last summoning area and shopping. I mean, the shopping area is obviously pretty obvious. This is where you go to buy your chrono crystals. Yeah, it's just pretty much it. Then they have deals in here every once in a while that are pretty decent. This is actually not too it's okay. Yeah, this is where you go and pick up your chrono crystals if you want to pay for it and stuff like that. So there's stuff like that. So this is the final area. Now this is the heart of it all, man. The thing that drives Legends right now, the summoning area. Now this is where obviously you're going to be going to summon to use your very, very limited resources of chrono crystals that you may have. It depends on the person. This is where you're going to be going to summon. So now, currently, if you want my advice, I advise that you don't summon on this Tapion banner. By the way, with this Dragon Ball Super Bardock, that's just my personal opinion. So yeah, this is where you're just going to go to summon. Now, all these banners are kind of like mini filler trap banners. So I advise you don't even touch these banners at all. I highly advise that you don't. And then here go the ticket banners. Now the Master Pack 1 and Master Pack 2, you get those from grinding events, and then they're basically just like your free to play source to get a lot of older units that's been in the game for a little more longer time. So they're good. Like a lot of the units on these two banners are kind of fodder, but they with the new Zenkai Awakening system, like that's the way of buffing units. It's always no good to at least have these units, because you never know when they're gonna get a buff or something like that. So yeah, definitely nothing too crazy. Mass Pack 3 is also up too. Also just another free to play kind of resource where you just grind the tickets from events, and then you'll be able to have a chance of getting any of these units. Now some of these units are actually still good, like GT Goku, Ultimate Gohan's decent. Future Gohan is actually still pretty good. So there's that. So I feel like I covered everything, man. That's pretty much it. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Now I knew I was forgetting about something, so I'm probably gonna have to just slip this in at the end of the video or something. So I forgot to talk about the training area. So this is where you're gonna be basically going to level up your units outside of playing that XP stage that I talked about earlier in the video. And this is probably gonna be. Are you going to be using slot? Yeah, you're going to be using slot. The current level cap is at level 5,000, and you're going to just want to get these training items from various events. Like the fish is pretty good starting off, so you would just be doing something like this. It's pretty self-explanatory. You do this, and then basically it will tell you what level you will be at after this, 7 minutes is done. This is probably the best time to be training up your units, by the way, because right now they have the training time cut in half. Once they take this shit off, I promise you, training up units is not fun. So this is probably the best time if you guys are new players to go ahead and trade up your units. So go ahead and just farm up some of these training items now. I guess I can show you where you can get some of these training items. You can get them from the exchange shop, from any of these exchange shop places. If you would just load so I can just show people. Come on, man. All right, so rare metals. If you do some rare metals, you can get some training items. Where are they at? There, where yeah, you get pizza. Pizza is probably the best training item currently. So you definitely want to probably just grab some pizza, or you could play a co-op, and then you get the co-op coins, and you could get some more pizza. So pizza is basically the best training item currently, and it's the best training item that's easy to get. Now the very best training item that is just OP are the gold bells and the silver bells. Gold bells basically could just take a unit from like level 1 to like level 5,000 zip in like 1 minute and 30 seconds, but they're very scarceful and very hard to come by, and the silver bells are just a little bit under that. They take a little, not a little longer, but they take a same amount of time. But you're probably gonna have to just use about 2 sets of silver bells if you actually want to level them up on like gold bells, where you just use it once and your unit is pretty much just maxed out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're probably gonna go into whatever I was talking about last, or I think I was probably getting into my outro. So yeah, that's the training system. And if I missed out anything, you guys are easy. Like, I'm perfectly fine with you guys correcting me. And that's it. Well, did I talk about story mode? I mean, I feel like I did talk about story mode. I mean, there's not really much to it. Story mode, I mean, it does have its own original story to it. So if you do actually like the story mode for what it is, then sure. But in the beginning, this is where you're going to be going to get all your CC. That's pretty much it. When you're a really new player, you're not going to be playing PvP. So this is where you're going to be going to get a lot of your CC, that and just events. So there's that. That's all there really is. You can also grind souls from certain stages in the story mode as well. So there's that and certain other resources. So it has its uses, but later on, like once you played all of it, like I'm a vet player, so I played all of this. So you're not gonna be there too much after you pretty much beat all of it. But some people don't play the story mode for a while, so they can have some extra resources and extra chrono crystals for later on. So you could definitely do that too. So Yeah, I just pretty much covered everything. So that's my beginner guide. Sorry if you guys may feel like I may have been unclear on certain things. I definitely will be okay with clearing up certain things in the comments if you have questions. So it's your boy Kai Kid Go Like Scott for more content. Tell me what you guys think about everything, all of this. I know it's a lot that you had to take in, but I hope that at the end of this video, I helped a few of you guys, newer players or probably even returning players, understand a lot of the new changes that came to the game within like the last week or so. Yeah, and it's it's your boy Kai Kid. All right, man, I'm finna end the video because I'm finna say my outro again.
Nigga, Go Jesus is beyond broken, bruh. Come on now. Stop fucking playing with me.